Hello everyone. In today's episode, Ousmane Dembele declares open war on PSG and is leaving Paris. Scott McTominay could make a sensational return home to Old Trafford. Real Madrid is building a new defensive wall, and Juventus is snatching a Manchester City legend for free. We've got plenty to discuss, so let's dive straight into the details. It's now official, Igor Tudor is taking on the rescue of Tottenham and has already accepted the offer to become the team's interim manager. The Croatian specialist is ready to work in North London until June 2026, taking on the mission to steer the Spurs to the end of the season in the most stable state possible. Tudor is known for his uncompromising character and strict discipline, which looks like an ideal firefighter option for a team that has lost its bearings. However, the real work of the Spurs management is buzzing behind the scenes, where a large-scale squad update is already being prepared for the summer arrival of a new head coach, with Roberto De Zerbi and Mauricio Pochettino remaining among the favorites. According to the publication Team Talk, Tottenham is currently leading the race for AC Milan star Christian Pulisic. The 27-year-old American enters the final year of his contract with the Rossoneri this summer, and the club sees him as a player capable of giving an instant boost to the attack thanks to his experience in the English Premier League. Coupled with the possible signing of Antonio Rudiger to strengthen defensive experience, where there is already a powerful foundation in the form of Van de Ven and Romero. These steps hint at an attempt to create a maximally balanced collective. Thus, Tudor's arrival is only a tactical pause to put out the fire, while we will see the club's true development vector in the summer. Pulisic, at 27 years old, is at the peak of his form, and if the Spurs can reach an agreement with Milan, it will be a serious reinforcement for any tactical model of the new coach. Tottenham's problem has never been in names, but in the system, and these transfer goals show that the club is finally looking for performers who know how to deliver results here and now. Borussia Dortmund is beginning to gradually accept the fact that keeping Nico Schlotterbeck this summer will be practically impossible, as the situation is spiraling out of the club's control. According to the latest data, Real Madrid has already received a clear answer regarding the player's value. The transfer of the German centre-back will cost the Merengues €70 million. Although Nico's current contract is set until June 2027, the management of the Bumblebees has not received any positive signal that the player wants to extend his stay in the Bundesliga. On the contrary, the defender's entourage makes it clear that he is ready for the next big step in his career. For Madrid, the amount of €70 million for a young, left-footed centre-back with an ideal first pass is a completely justified investment, especially against the backdrop of rumors about a possible rotation in the defense of the Royal Club. Schlotterbeck fits perfectly into Real's new philosophy of signing the best talents at the peak of their value. If Florentino Perez agrees to these terms, Borussia will lose its key defender, but will receive a huge budget for another rebuild, while Madrid will finally close the issue with the center of defense for many years to come. The Parisian paradise is storming again, and PSG's 1-3 defeat to Rennes was only the final detonator for an explosion that had been brewing for a long time. The reigning Ballon d'Or winner Ousmane Dembele did not mince words after the game, stating in an interview with L'Équipe that the partners finally need to start playing for the Paris Saint-Germain crest and be a team, rather than thinking only about their own interests. However, such loud statements look strange against the background of his own play. The Frenchman has been demanding a cosmic contract for a long time, despite an extremely uncertain season and a series of failed matches for the Parisians. Such public criticism caused an instant and tough reaction from head coach Luis Enrique, who emphasized that he will never allow any player to put their personal situation above the club, promising that as soon as this changes, it's all over. This spat only emphasized the depth of the transfer crisis, because despite the current agreement until 2028, negotiations for an extension have finally reached a dead end. Dembele has long since rejected an offer of €30 million a year, insisting on a staggering €60 million. Against the backdrop of Nasser Al-Khelaifi's new policy regarding the salary cap, such blackmail from a player who does not demonstrate stability makes his departure almost inevitable. The most likely direction looks to be the Saudi Pro League, where they are ready to give him the status of the new face of the league with a salary from 60 to 100 million euros. At the same time, Liverpool is monitoring the situation, seeing Dembele as a replacement for Salah, although their cap of 25 million is unlikely to satisfy the Frenchman's appetite. Also in the game is London's Arsenal, but the Gunners are unlikely to offer more than 20 million. My verdict is this: the status of the best player on the planet has blinded Ousmane. Demanding a salary double-up after a rather mediocre season with many defeats is a direct path to a breakup. If Dembele chooses money, we will see him in Jeddah. If ambition, he will have to radically review his demands in the EPL. But the Dembele era in Paris is definitely coming to its final end. While Manchester City tries to hold its positions in the English Premier League, one of the main figures in Pep Guardiola's system seems to be getting closer to a fateful decision regarding his career. According to information from the authoritative publication Calciomercato, Turin's Juventus is seriously targeting the signing of Bernardo Silva, considering him the main transfer goal for the summer. The 31-year-old Portuguese becomes a free agent in June 2026, and since there are no signs of a contract extension with the citizens on the horizon, the old lady hopes to intercept the maestro for free. Pep Guardiola himself no longer hides the uncertainty regarding the future of his key midfielder. During a recent talk with the press, the Spanish coach honestly admitted, "I don't have any idea about Bernardo's future. Honestly," I said to him, "when you take a decision, just let me know. But at the moment, I really don't know anything." Such words from the coach only fuel interest in Turin, where Silva is seen as a priority star reinforcement, capable of returning creativity and a winning mentality to the team on the European arena. This looks like a classic strategic move by Juventus to sign a top player at their peak without spending a single euro on the transfer fee. After many years of dominance in England, Bernardo may want a new challenge in Serie A, where his footballing intelligence will allow him to remain at an elite level for a long time. If the negotiations are successful, Silva will become the face of the renewed Bianconeri project, and Manchester City risks losing its engine, which has kept their midfield in perfect order for so many years. While Football Europe discusses possible moves of veterans, Al-Ittihad is preparing a real transfer bomb that could change the rules of the game in the market. According to information from the publication Mundo Deportivo, the Saudi giant is developing a colossal financial package for the signing of Eduardo Camavinga from Real Madrid. The club from Jeddah is urgently looking for a long-term replacement for the legendary N'Golo Kante, who recently left the team and joined the Turkish Fenerbahce. The 23-year-old French universal is considered by the management of Al-Ittihad as an ideal foundation for a renewed midfield, capable of delivering results for many years. Despite his status as an untouchable player in the real system, the sums the Saudis are preparing could become record-breaking in the history of football, forcing even the royal club to start negotiations. This is the boldest attempt by Saudi projects in recent times, because luring a young leader of Real at the peak of his form is an almost impossible task. However, after Kante's departure, Al-Ittihad needs not just a player, but a new engine for the team, and Camavinga, with his incredible work capacity and technique, is the priority number one. If this transfer takes place, it will finally confirm that the Saudi Pro League is no longer a place for retirement, but is becoming a real competitor for the best young talents of the planet. Football romance sometimes takes incredible turns, and now we are witnessing the beginning of one of these stories. According to information from the publication Utd Return, Scott McTominay is seriously considering the possibility of returning to the English Premier League. Despite the fact that the Scotsman became a real hero in Naples, his heart, it seems, still belongs to Britain. His home club, Manchester United, is named as the main contender for signing the midfielder, and they are currently leading the race for their graduate. The situation looks quite complicated, as at the same time, the 29-year-old player is conducting negotiations with Napoli regarding the improvement of the terms of his current contract. The Italian club does not want to lose its key performer, but Scott's openness to moving to England makes the Neapolitan's position vulnerable. McTominay proved in Serie A that he is a top-level player, and for United, it would be an ideal step to correct the mistake of his sale. If the Mancunians can convince Scott that he will be a key part of the project, we will see one of the most emotional returns of the year. However, the bargaining with Napoli will not be easy, as the Italians will not just let go of the footballer who has become the soul of their midfield. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed it, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Wishing you happiness, health, and great football.